what everybody's been waiting on.
Yes.
We got a Chevette update.
So we have the motor.
Okay. So where did we left off? That it was broke.
Yeah.
We were going to take the motor and have it looked at.
Yep.
We were going to take the transmission, have it looked at, and we were going to send the converter off.
Yes.
And that was pretty much the last of it. That was right after we got back from race week.
Yeah.
We've had a lot go on since then.
We've had a whole lot go on since then. So, we pulled the motor out, took it to Wayne.
Okay.
We got it back. I don't know, how long ago did we get that back? A couple weeks ago?
Yeah, we've had it for a minute.
So, it's ready to go in the car. So there wasn't really anything like broke in the motor.
It was in pretty good shape, but we wanted to take it back and have it checked over because it had, we're gonna say 3,000 miles on it probably by the time we did the 2 Dragon drives and then everything that we did, and then
the passes that we put on it and whatever else. So we took it to Wayne. He tore it apart. We freshened the heads up. They had new valve guides and new valve seals put in it.
Yep, checked all the springs. The springs were good.
Yep. We had new total seal rings put in it.
Yep, and we went with a total seal gas ported ring, which you know, if you listen to all the podcasts and read about the latest greatest thing, apparently that gas ported ring is supposed to be the stuff. So
we will see.
Yeah, we figured we'd experiment a little bit.
We're doing some experimenting. Speaking of experimenting, Wayne did some changes with some windage. He made us a crank scraper.
Top secret Pratt Racing Engines crank scraper. So that should help some.
And then we actually pretty much took everything out of the old block and put it all in another 4.3 block. So
yep. So that's actually the block that was in the car.
It wasn't broke or anything.
But the people of the internet say that these 4.3 liter blocks are not cast as thick as a 350 block.
Right.
So 40 over is pretty much where you need to be at on a street motor.
Yeah.
So that block right there was already 40 over, and we already had a 40 over rotating assembly, the pistons and everything that were in good shape. They were good Wiseco forged pistons and all that. So we decided it would be easier to take that block here, which was originally a 30 over block, and we just had it punched 10 more to 40, put her rotating assembly and everything in it. And if you notice, we kept that one because I think we're gonna do some more experimenting.
Maybe.
So all right, so we got new rings, new bearings.
Yep.
All that, threw it back together. Other than that, it's pretty much the same. He did a couple little changes here and there, but we just kind of freshened up the motor.
Yeah. So we got that done. Got that back from Wayne. We pulled the converter out. We got it sent off to Circle D. Converters are a foreign language, so
yeah, it kind of looks like those things they chunk down the ice on curling. That's pretty much what
curling?
My knowledge. Yeah. The Olympics.
Yeah.
The shop broom and the torque converter. Yeah.
Yeah.
So
that
converter came back with some billet stuff in it.
Yep.
And a couple things he wants to try, and he ain't steered me wrong yet. So
no, everything that we've gotten from him has been great. So we're gonna put that in, test that out.
For the record, that Circle D converter was not broke.
It was not broke.
It was not broke. Okay, so we got the motor back fresh, converters back from Dan, Circle D.
Yep. And then the poor little transmission, we got that thing pulled out, and we ended up taking it to Wendell at Mr. Wendell's Performance. So the actual issue was a bushing. It had some kind of burr.
Yeah.
Or a piece of trash or something hanging on it, and
We've explained several times we're not transmission people.
we're not.
Which is why it went somewhere else. But there is a bushing somewhere around the front pump, behind the front pump.
In that general area.
Yeah. So input shaft goes through that bushing, and that brass bushing was pretty much gone, and that's what most of the metal was that was in the pan. It was actually bushing material.
So we took our poor little transmission over to Wendell. He got us in, got it taken care of. He put a new valve body in it. He put in new clutches and some upgraded hard parts.
Bunch of Cone parts, parts from Cone.
Yep, parts from Cone. He got that done for us pretty quick. So I'm ready to put this transmission in there because Wendell says when you shift that thing, it's going to shift. So.
He said it was rattling the dyno.
Yeah.
Whenever he shifted it, so.
But I'm excited to get it together and at least go to a test and tune or something and just make some more passes in it, just to see, with all the stuff that we did, with the converter changes that Dan did, the transmission that Wendell's done, and all the stuff that Wayne did to the motor and stuff, and just to see what it does. And hopefully it'll pick up some with all of our experimental changes. We just gotta get it back together, which we need to do pretty quick because we have other stuff that we need to work on, and this is in the way.
Are we going to talk about what we got to work on?
I don't know, are we?
Okay. Well, I think we've mentioned in other videos that the dragster may be hitting the road.
And it did. It was pretty sad.
So it's gone.
But now we have a new toy.
Can't show what it is yet because we're going to be dumb and secretive.
But it's cool.
Nobody really cares, I'm sure. But I kind of already broke it.
We can't have anything nice. We break everything.
Yeah, I made it one pass without causing an issue. But yeah, we went and picked that up. That deal right there is fast though. Broke or not, it's fast. It was good for one pass, but
oh gosh,
we got a new motor that was actually going in that anyway. So once we get this thing done,
yeah, then we gotta get this out of the way.
So we can get the jack stands out from underneath it, and
that have been under it for what, 2 months now.
Yeah, those Harbor Freight deals hanging on.
Heck yeah, they are.
So we'll get the motor in that, transmission in it, get it running. That'll probably happen hopefully within the next week or so.
Yeah.
We can start getting some street miles on it, and then we're gonna do some musical cars in here, get stuff moved around, and then the undercover machine there. Maybe we should do some videos on that thing.
Yeah.
We're fixing to do a whole lot of work to it.
Let's do it. Maybe people will like it because it's different.
It's different.
Yeah.
It's kind of like the Mustang. It's got history.
Hey, that thing has a lot of history.
Yeah.
It's cool.
Yeah.
It's got freaking cool history.
Yeah. It's got history.
Does it not?
It has got some cool history. If you're into that kind of thing.
Well, stick around because there may be videos for that.
Yeah. So, but we'll get the Chevette done first. That's the people's favorite.
Well, we got to get that done because we got to get it out of the way.
Yeah. So we're gonna get that all shoved back in the old engine compartment here, fired up, be rolling down the road for before you know it.
Hopefully.
Are you ready?
I am. I'm excited to get it going.
Yeah.
Yeah. I was sad when it broke because I had a blast at race week. I was fired up, ready to go, and then
we'll probably time lapse a little bit, getting this back together. We'll film putting the Chevette back together, and hopefully do some rides around, put some miles on it, that kind of thing, and then we'll move on to the next thing.
Yeah. So we'll catch up to you when we start working on it.
All right.
You ready?
Saturday.
At 12:42.
Yeah, we're not getting an early start.
Well, we had to go buy a heater.
Because it's 40 degrees outside and we're freezing.
It's 37 degrees outside today, and we are cold because we live in Texas, and it's not supposed to be this cold in Texas. So,
But it is. Don't worry though, the old master right there. We had that plugged up maybe 10 minutes.
Yeah.
And it took it up in here 15 degrees already.
Yes. So.
We got a little ventilation going on over there, so we may not die from fumes, but.
So, we're sissies. We had to go buy a heater, so we're getting a late start, but we're about to start putting this thing back together, so we can get it out of the way to start working on other things. So.
We're gonna try to have it running today.
We can try.
Well, as you can see, major change of plans here. I saw on the time-lapse deal yesterday, we were having some severe issues getting the transmission in, and that was mainly the headers, which you can't put the headers in after you get the motor in, so the headers have to be laying in the car when you set the motor in. All we've ever done with transmission wise is pull it out. We've never tried to put it back in, and the motor's easier to get in and out, so anytime we've done a converter change or anything like that, we just pulled the motor out. I didn't think that was going to be that big of a deal. Turns out it was, and we fought until we both were mad. We were tired. We had other stuff to do. Thanksgiving's this week. We actually have one family Thanksgiving to go to today, and we just cut our losses and left the transmission laying under the car last night on a couple 2x4s, and went inside and called it a night. So, for whatever reason, I woke up about 5:15 this morning and decided this is what we were going to do. So, I came out here and kicked the heater on and went to work. It's about 7:30 now. I tried to put the transmission in by myself just like we did last night with the motor and everything in the car. And I fought for, I'm gonna say, an hour and a half. It's 7:30 now, and this thing's ready to go in as a unit here. I'll probably have to wait on Krista to get up to help me put this thing in. I don't know if I want to attempt this by myself. I think we're gonna have to get the hood off. There's a possibility I think we may have to get the radiator out of it to do it this way, but I know this works because we've done it before. So, yeah, that's where we're at. I'll wait on her to get up, eat her Wheaties, and get out here, and we'll try to throw this thing in before we have to leave to go to Thanksgiving. Well, live update. The stubbornness runs strong. I decided I wasn't going to wait, but I also wasn't going to run the camera, so if the motor and transmission fell in the front of the car, I could just go back to bed and act like nothing ever happened and say it was like that when we came out here. But it's actually most of the way in. That header over there didn't really give me any trouble. This one over here, I'm having issues because I already had the starter on it, and the starter is not allowing the motor to go all the way down because it's hitting the header. So I'm going to pull the starter off, drop the header in, drop the motor in. So Both of them went in pretty easy. I just moved the engine hoist to the front hole. Got a jack under the tail shaft on the transmission. I got it all bolted together, and you see it sliding right in. We ain't got very much clearance on the old fan there, so I've been having to be real careful on that, but it's still got a little bit of play in it, so we're not crushing nothing yet. So I'm fixing to roll into there, try to get the starter off of it, set the header down in there, hopefully where it'll stay, set the motor in, bolt it up the motor plate, put the transmission cross member back on it, bolt the header up, and yeah, should be good.
Good morning. I come out here. I told him this, well, last night when we went to bed. I said, don't come out here without me. What's he do? Comes out here without me, but he got all kinds of stuff done. Like the whole thing's in there. Transmission's bolted up back there.
So update for everybody that's actually been awake with me this morning.
Sorry.
I had to end up having to pull the motor plate loose because the motor would not set down far enough in the car to slide back as far as it needed to be. So had to pull the motor plate loose. Wasn't that big of a deal.
Yeah.
Got that done.
So it's all in there. I finished getting the
Tired? Been a long morning.
whatever. Finished getting the motor plate tightened up there, and then we're gonna get the
Motor plate's tight.
oh, never mind. He's
Get with the program.
okay. Well, I'm behind.
Look, we had turned the radio off to do the YouTube, but I'm talking whatever 99.5 the Wolf has got going on this morning. They're just ready to do some work. I mean, Randy Travis. We had a little bit of old Sarah Evans, a little bit of old Toby Keith. And the Brooks and Dunn's what kicked us off this morning.
Well, thank God for Brooks and Dunn on this cold Sunday morning.
Ain't cold in here. It's like 70.
It does feel good in here thanks to the old toaster over there.
How about the fumes in here?
They're not bad.
That's good.
I didn't feel like I was gonna die when I walked in here, so. What are you working on? Header bolts?
You get one in. That way they'll hang there.
Well.
Look at here.
Success.
Yep.
Okay. Are we going down under?
I don't know. I at least want to get the transmission crossmember in it so that way it's not sitting on a jack.
Are we on sketchy jack or the good jack?
No, the good jack. Sketchy jack has been used several times today. Ask the people. I didn't do nothing sketchy. Well, they were only here for part of it.
Mm.
But.
So you didn't film the sketchy stuff?
Well. If I would have dropped the car on the front of it, or dropped the motor on the front of the car, I definitely would have told you 100% what happened.
Yeah.
Yep. So it didn't happen. So we're good.
Yeah, there's no damage there, so.
Yeah.
Well,
It's in. With the transmission this time.
yeah. So we well, you got a lot done this morning.
Yeah.
So we just have well, you know, we still have a lot left to do, but it's in there. We have
Get the shifter hooked up. We gotta put the cooler lines on it.
yeah, my
Drive
bad.
shaft in it.
Drive shaft.
Hook the exhaust up, which is a task because you got to do the exhaust with the headers, like at the same time.
Yeah.
So you get that done, and then just hook the motor up.
Yep.
Couple
So
more hours probably.
we have Thanksgiving #1 to go to, so we gotta go get ready for that. So we will pick back up.
That's a nice engine hoist right there.
We will pick back up on this, you know, soon.
I'm not much of a negative person, depending on what day it is. I don't know, sometimes I am. But I'm pretty much tired of hearing Christmas songs and COVID booster shot commercials.
Yeah, they're pretty annoying.
That's pretty
It's
much...
literally the day after, well, I guess like 2 days after Thanksgiving, and it's like nothing but Christmas songs.
Yeah. And COVID was so 2020.
Yeah, like, move on.
Right.
But,
All right, so where are we at?
we got converter bolts in.
Okay.
Starters bolted up.
That's all we got left underneath it is, well, I got a couple grounds I got to get up under there and do, and then once we put the plug wires on it, I normally zip tie those away from the headers.
Yeah.
So I'll have to crawl into there and put a couple brackets on. So we'll probably do that
Yeah.
last. That way we can get the headers on it, and then I'll just crawl into there and do those
And get them out of the way.
last thing. But plugs, route the wires, put those on.
Yeah. Exhaust is our biggest thing left, I guess, to do.
Yeah, that kind of sucks.
It does suck.
So we got one header started, the other one,
It's just dangling.
yeah, for now until we get the exhaust done. But
It's not fun.
for the most part, our pile of parts is pretty much all gone.
It has shrunk. back together.
Is it time?
I hope so.
Alright, so we know last time the valves weren't adjusted right because they bled down and we had an oil pressure scare.
Yes.
So we could have that possibility again.
Yeah.
It may make noise because the lifters are probably bled down. And we got to check the transmission fluid.
Yes.
Other than that, it should fire up
So it may sound like a tractor.
more than it normally does.
Okay.
Alright. There we go. Okay. Now that I pumped it 9,000 times. Alright. You doing it or am I doing it?
You do it.
Timing's off.
A little bit.
Sitting there thinking, man, she running like boo boo. Just spin it over and then hit the ignition.
Okay. Ready?
Yep. Let's try now. It's crosswise.
Crosswire?
That's what it sounds like to me.
I don't know.
I'm not even gonna look at the distributor cap. I got two dead holes. And they're right next to each other. And it's popping like it's got a wire cross. So we're just gonna assume it's one of those. And I just changed them back. So,
Okay.
hold on a second. Just drop the old Allen wrench where I can't get it.
You need help?
Not yet.
You ready?
Yep. Okay, well that didn't fix it. Let me make sure. Well, this side was all hot. Make sure I got the firing order right here. 1, that should be 6. This should be 6. There's the front one. Okay, so that's cool. We ran the valves on that side and got that fixed. We did have a problem with it crosswired. I think when I put the cap on, I put the cap on the reverse way of the way it was before, and I just
It didn't like it.
yeah, I just put the plug wires on and rolled on because they were the right length because they were all zip tied up, and turns out not quite. So got that fixed, fired it up, had it running, and the water pump had a big bubble in it somewhere and it wasn't circulating.
And then it was like a volcano, apparently.
Yeah, we decided we were going to crank it up, let it run till the motor got warm, and then shut it off. And right as we were shutting it off, it went pshoo. cylinders, not 4. Oil pressure and temperature good?
Yep. So far.
Got one of them choppy cams.
Sounds good. So we finally got it done and the car's back on the ground. We got the timing set. We had some of the wires crossed up, so we got those sorted out and figured out where they needed to go. We had a pretty big air pocket in the cooling system. We finally got that all worked out. We got the lifter set. The exhaust is all bolted up and where it needs to be. It doesn't sound like we have any exhaust leaks, which we kind of had a little bit of an issue with before. So hopefully we don't have any more of that. We had a little bit of problem with the carburetor, but we got it sorted out. So our plan is to go drive it tomorrow, see how everything runs, make sure everything's good. But it's finally back on the ground. Everything's good. I guess that's about it for this video. Just want to say thanks again to everybody that has helped us out with this. Wayne, Pratt Racing Engines, Wendell at Mr. Wendell's Performance, Dan at Circle D, John Sr. with John's Auto Service, you, John, my husband, for, you know, doing all of this with me.
That's what we do.
Yep. And then, you know, everybody else that's followed along with this, and kept up with all of our crazy shenanigans along the way.
Can't forget about our media guy.
Kyrie?
Yeah.
Oh yeah. Where you been at this whole time? So, I guess that's about it for this. Stick around. I'm sure I know there's plenty of other things coming. We have our secret car over there, which I don't know if it's going to be a secret by the time this video comes out. We have the Mustang. We have another car that we're going to be working on. You know how this thing goes. We'll probably work on it some more.
And now that we got it together and it's still, I mean, it's not snowing or anything outside, if we can hit a testing tune in the next few weeks and let you make some passes with it and stuff like that, we'll definitely throw some videos out with that.
Yep. So, and then I don't know, I know you said they had like a couple of winter warm-up things or whatever around here, so maybe we can go hit some of those or something. We'll see just how everything goes and what kind of progress we're making on our other projects and stuff, but we'll see where we're at. So I guess that's it for now. We'll wrap this up and get started on our next project.
On to the next one.
Yep. So thanks again.